Hi there, Lady Val here, and it is 2026, so Happy New Year to everyone. I've not done any videos for a couple of weeks with all the holiday excitement, and I had to clean up my craft room. It had just gotten to be a bit of a mess, so my New Year's resolution was to clean up my craft room so I could actually walk through it and find things and put things away that I had, pulled out for different projects. So I accomplished that. So here we are, and we have had terrible weather here for the last couple of weeks. Started on Christmas Eve, where we had torrential rains, which caused horrible flooding up here in the high desert in some areas. Our little town of Wrightwood, which is right above us in the mountains, was just terrible flooding. People had their houses filled with mud and debris, and that was a result of a fire the year before. So it's just been kind of a bad time for people up there in the mountains. We're just right below the mountain, so we did not experience any terrible things like that. We do have road closures and bridges that washed out and things like that we have to detour around, but that's minor in comparison. So of course I decided on a rainy day to tea dye and coffee dye some papers, which here I live in sunny California, and I should be able to take all the papers out to dry on their own, just put them out on a table and in no time they'd be dry. What do? I pick a rainy day where I have to hand dry them. I did put them in the oven, after they were in the tea baths and the coffee baths for several hours. I drained all that off, and I did put them in the oven for at 200 degrees Fahrenheit for about 20 minutes just to steam some of the moisture off. But then I had to take my my heat gun. Took me 2 hours to hand dry them enough so they wouldn't stick together, and then I laid them crisscross on a tray to come finish drying. So they are all dry this morning, and I'm ready to do some background stamping and painting and so forth. So I'm not going to use the coffee ones because I really like the way those come out. They're much darker, and that's what I like. The tea dye ones are a bit lighter, like this. So I thought, well, let's use the tea dye papers, and we'll do some background stamping and background painting, and just making it a little jazzier. So what I'm going to start out with is some stamping. So I have a couple of background stamps. I have my scripts, one of my script stamps, and then I have this little stamp. I've used this before. It doesn't look like it. It looks pretty clean, which is nice. But I have used this, and I don't even take it off the plastic thing. I just use it as it is. I just put ink on it, and then I wipe it clean, or as clean as I can get it, with a wipe. So that's what I'm going to do, start out with, and I'm going to use this is my jet black archival ink, and I'm using archival ink because if I paint over it, or if I use any kind of, if I use any spray water of any kind on it, it's not going to, the ink will not fade, or not, like the oxide inks will, their water, they start to combine and move when you add water. So figure if I use the archival ink, unless you want it to move, then you would use, your oxide inks. And distress inks are the same way. They're not going to move when you put spray water on them. So it's very light, which is fine. I want it just to be a background stamp. So let's do some script stamping. So basically, when you're doing background papers, depending on your style and how you want things to look, is what you would stamp in the background. So script stamping, you know, you can kind of do it in, you know, areas all over the page. I'm gonna try some gray on here. I don't know if that's really, seems to be a bit dry. Yeah, that's the gray one has a lot more ink on it. Must have either used that archival one, the black one, a lot, or it's just dried up. Okay, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to use this one again. Oops, wrong one, wrong side. So what I started to say is, depending on what your style is, you know, you can do your backgrounds in pastels. If you're, you know, if you do florals, you can do them, you know, with anything in the background, anything that is your style, because everybody kind of has their own style, and they evolve. At least I did. I evolved into the style that I predominantly am today, which is vintage and grunge. So that's what I like. Although I do other things, especially if I'm doing journals for someone else and it's a theme that they have specifically asked for, or I know they would be interested in. Then I, you know, I come out of my comfort zone a bit and do what I need to do to accomplish that. Okay. I'm going to set this one in my drawer here and see about getting a re-inker or a whole new pad for that. Okay, put those aside for a bit. Now I'm going to take some, I have some inks, I have paints out here, but first I'm going to put a little bit of this, I've got this acrylic medium. Let's see if, I don't think I've opened this yet. Yes, I did. Okay. Just gonna put, this is a glass mat I'm using here, so just gonna squeeze a little bit of that out on it. I've got my brayer here, so I'm going to go over this, and this is basically kind of a it's kind of like gesso basically. So you can use it in several different ways. You can use it to seal something, which is basically what this is, because it's going on clear. And once it's dry, if you spray any inks on it, it will not adhere as well to the areas that have this medium on them, this acrylic medium on it, and it will go around the others, which gives it kind of a different effect. So let's see, let's start with, these are just some cheapy acrylic paints from the dollar store, Dollar Tree actually. I've had them for years, and these are the colors, my favorite colors. So we're going to do the same thing. Like that out of the way. I'm going to go over. And you basically can just do it. Oh, what we got there? My brayer's falling apart. And this one. Now this is what was that color? I'll tell you what these colors are. This was red oxide, which is kind of a rusty color. This one is yellow oxide. Just get a little squeeze out there if it'll cooperate. I'm just going to put a dab on there. Yes, my brayer is falling apart here. Okay, I'm going to put that aside and fix that. For now, I'm going to use my little brush that I got out here. And we're going to go in with some black. And there are different things for different effects too. I mean, you have brushes, different kinds of brushes. I have, of course, this brush, which is a round bristle brush. And then I've also got some silicone brushes that give you a total different effect. And I also have, grab it here, a champagne cork. So I'm going to dip that in the paint. I'm going to use the black for that so it'll show up better. There we go. So that gives you a different effect, just to add a little interest to your paper. And you can use anything. You can use bubble wrap, you can use, you know, sponges. Your imagination, you know, can take you anywhere with this. So I happen to have the champagne corks because yesterday was my wedding anniversary, so we had a little celebration. We didn't go out because the weather has been so bad. So my husband cooked a lovely prime rib dinner for me. He's a wonderful cook. He's very good to me. He spoils me all the time. I think that one looks awesome, personally. This is my style. May not be everybody's style, but these colors I think will make a wonderful background page. Now, once it dries, you know, you can do whatever you want with this. Put it in any kind of a journal with this color scheme and you're good to go. So that's the first one we're gonna do. I'm gonna lay that to the side to dry. And we're gonna get another one out here. And I'm going to wipe everything off here. Get this paint off here. That's one nice thing about a glass mat when you're doing this. Everything wipes right up. I think I'll get another wipey out to be ready for the next color set. Okay, let me close these up that I've been using. Now for this one, I think I'm going to use, I have these are little background stamps that I got. I think I just got these recently off of Amazon. I use Amazon a lot. And these are fun little stamps. Let me see if I can find a block for that one. Okay, I can actually use a block for this one. So basically, on this one, it's just a matter of going through, let me put that out of the way, several different backgrounds. A lot of it's going to be covered up, so you can go off the page, partial stamping. You don't have to be too particular with this, because like I said, if you're going to be adding a paint background to it, it really matters not. So I'm going to get another one on here. I need to wipe the back of it so it'll stick. Sometimes when the stamps have been sitting around for a while. So here we go with another one, different one. Okay. Let's see what else. We've got a broken window. And you can also use different colors too, you know, with the stamping if you so choose. Again, that's entirely up to your style. And if you were doing florals, you know, you would want pastel inks. So that looks pretty good to me. Okay, let me cover that pad up. Put that down here. Okay, what shall we use next? Let's see, we've got some oxide sprays. I think I may try a little bit of that. I'm shaking them up because, as you know, that things settle to the bottom in these Tim Holtz sprays. So I'm getting the water out here. So you need to make sure that you shake everything up and you look at the bottom and see if it's, you know, anything on the bottom. This one. Okay. And that was, what color was that? Scorched timber? No, yeah, scorched timber is what I just sprayed on there. And now I'm going to spray some speckled egg, which I love that combination. Okay, shaken. Here we go. There's the speckled egg. What's the next one? Ice spruce. I think this is the one I'm looking for. Yes, peeled paint. Shaking up. Here we go. All right, now these are the oxides, so they should, if I spray a little water, they should blend together, if that's the look you're going for. So basically you can maneuver your page, or it can just leave, like in this, if you see, the colors will start to blend and move together. If you got too much, you can just take a piece of plain paper, trying to say two things at once, and just blot the areas where the water is pooling or the paint is pooling. And again, it will give you start giving you a fun little imprint on your paper. Now to me, that's my style. I'm going to stop right there with that one. Put that off to the side. Oh, I better wipe that up. Got spray everywhere there. Okay. All right. Let's see what else we can do here. It's wet from wiping it down. We go over it with a dry Kleenex. Okay, there we go. Okay, and one more tea-dyed paper. And this time, I'm going to use, what am I going to use for stamping? I'm going to use some numbers. Get this out of the way. So I have these numbers. And I think I'm going to use, can you see how this green archival ink looks? Another stamp block here. This is kind of one of my favorite stamp blocks. Wipe it off. Lucky 7. We'll use number 7. It's slipping down. Okay, that's better. Okay. That's good. Let's see, what other number shall we put on there? How about 3? 3 is a good number. And for this, I think I'm going to use, see, that green color is fern green in the archival ink line. And I'm going to use, the next one is coffee that I'm going to use. And we're going to put some number 3s on there. Again, you don't have to be too particular because you've seen that a lot of times these get covered up. Okay. And I think we'll go one more number, and I'll use this is called graphite. This is the gray color we were using earlier. Let's see, how about 5? 3 off, 5 on. Okay, here we go. Okay, that's looking really good. All right, I think that'll do it. Okay, now I also brought out some metallic paints here. Got several different colors of that. So I think I'm going to start with this green. Give it a little shake. And I'm going to use our, this is a silicone brush, which gives a totally different vibe when you paint with it than using a regular bristle brush, as you can see. And it comes, you know, you can keep going until it comes totally off your brush and you have a clean brush, which is kind of nice. I mean, you know. And this next color I'm going to be using is copper. Just a little bit of each. And again. I personally like metallics. I've just always been a fan of glittery, shiny things, so I use metallics a lot in my work. Next one is called Rich Espresso. And the thing about this type of background, making background papers, is you can just do anything you want, you know, and if you don't like it, it's only paper. You can either toss it or cover it up or start over, or, you know, whatever suits you. Okay, just got a couple more here. This is champagne gold, so it's not a real bright gold, which for this purpose I like. Come on, there we go. And these silicone brushes can also be used to, you know, put your texture paste, you know, if you're doing collages and you're using mediums like Mod Podge or, you know, whatever, that kind of stuff, these are really nice because they spread it evenly. And oh, I need to shake that up a little bit. This is white pearl. Come on. There we go. For our last little color on here. Okay, I think that, for my purposes, looks just fine. Okay, put that aside to dry. Wipe up this paint. And the last thing I'm going to show you today, which none of these are earth-shattering, you know, processes. There's lots of videos out there that show you how to do this kind of stuff. But this is just me. This is my way and my my style, and you can always do exactly what you want. So we have, I have some stencils, and you can pick any kind of stencil. I think I've got one here that's, yeah, let's use this one. I've got this little ring, I think I got on Amazon as well. I get a lot of things on Amazon. It's just easier. I live out in a rural area, and they bring it right to my door, and that makes me happy, you know. It makes me happy. Okay, where is it? Here it is. Okay, you can either use, paint for this, you can use texture paste, you can use your, you know, blending brushes and inks. You can do pretty much anything you want. Today I happen to have my texture paste here. This is the Tim Holtz texture paste. This is actually translucent. So what this is going to do, after I put it on here, it dries basically clear, and then what you do, I probably won't be able to show you today because it won't be dry, but once it dries, then you can take your sprays, and you can use multiple colors until you get the colors you want, and spray the area that has the texture on it. And the sprays, the inks will run down around, like in this case, this is a brick, you know, background. And depending on what you use, it'll just run down through the design, whatever that is for you. And, you know, if you're making a journal of any certain theme, you can find stencils that will match that theme, and you can use the different colors of sprays that you want, and you're all set. Okay, so basically, now that's going to dry, and like I said, it's going to dry clear. And then I'll come in tomorrow when it's completely dry, and I'll put my sprays on it. Now on this one, I'm going to turn this around, and I'm going to use the other one. Let me wipe this off. I'm going to use the other side, because these have two different designs on each stencil, this particular pack. So I'm going to use this side. I used the brick down there. I'm going to use this side and do the other corner. And you can also, like I said, you can take your blending brush, use your inks directly on there. You can use paint. You can take your brush and put paint over it. There's just so many things that you can do, and you're only stymied by your own imagination. So, you know, and there's plenty of YouTube videos out there with wonderful creators that show different ways to, you know, do stenciling. And I tell you, some of these ladies and gentlemen that are out there have very creative minds, and it is wonderful to watch them. Okay, pull that up. Now tomorrow I will use my sprays to color those in, and I'll probably do some other painting and stuff in the middle there. But for now, that's going to be all that I'm going to do with you, and I thank you for coming along today to watch this video, and I would appreciate it if you found anything useful, if you would like button and subscribe if you're not already. And I really appreciate each and every one of you that tune in to watch my videos. I'm very new at this, so if you have any suggestions, things and ways that I can be better at this, please let me know. I like to look at the comments, and I try to answer them all, so I will be happy to do that. So you take care, have a wonderful start to your new year, and it all begins with paper. Bye-bye.